Amanda Ribas versus Paige Vanzant is set to take place on the main card of UFC 251, Usman versus Masvidal, Fight Island. I can't wait for this matchup for many different reasons, maybe other than skillful fighting. I'm probably going to be rewatching this one alone in my room many a time after the fight is over, but still, an entertaining matchup with high stakes on the line. If Paige Vanzant wins this one, it would be a massive upset and would be an amazing story to then propel her up the rankings of the women's flyweight division. By the way, this one's taking place at flyweight, which I like, because it's been a while since we've had some hype around the flyweight division since Maycee Barber blew her knee out. And lost to Roxanne Modafferi, by the way. That was quite humiliating. But we've got a chance here to save some hype in the women's flyweight division. We've got an interesting striker in Amanda Ribas, who is a huge favourite here. No, listen, spoiler alert, I'm going to pick Amanda Ribas to win this fight. I feel like it's the most obvious prediction on the card. However, she is such a big underdog that I've put £2.77 on Paige Vanzant to earn me back a potential £18. I don't care. I'm not giving up on those odds. I'm not saying I'm going to change my prediction because the odds are so good. I'm just saying I'm still picking Amanda Ribas. But those odds on Paige Vanzant are ridiculous because we've seen upsets happen. And by the way, Paige Vanzant is bigger than Amanda Ribas. And she's actually kind of good and tough. And there can be situations in women's MMA. Let's say Paige Vanzant slips a punch somehow accidentally and then ends up on the back of Amanda Ribas, or Amanda Ribas gets injured. Those odds just don't make any sense. I think Ribas should be like a 4-1 favourite, a 3-1 favourite. A 9-1 she opened as, I believe. That is some ridiculous shit. Either way, I think Amanda Ribas is going to win this fight. She's fought better competition recently, and she's been more active recently as well. I saw an interview with Paige Vanzant on Latest MMA News, where she was saying, I could have worked a normal job and got paid the same as I would in the UFC recently over the past 6 years. Well, Paige Vanzant, since 2017, you've showed up to work twice. I would fucking hope a normal person with a normal job earns more than you do in the UFC. You've showed up to work twice. Even though it could have been because of injuries, I understand that. She's shown up to work twice since 2017. Nay, twice since the end of 2016. Which makes it sound even worse. Just with a little twist of the words. I like that. Anyone who does that is not going to get paid the same. Of course you're not going to get paid massive amounts of money if you show up twice in every 4 years. It doesn't make any sense. But still, Paige Vanzant, I hope she does win this fight. I'm really rooting for her to get the upset, because if she does win, you know damn sure that they're going to make her versus Maycee Barber next and try and reignite some hype there. And even if Amanda Ribas wins, I wouldn't mind. If she does it in dominant enough fashion, she's going to get a lot of attention. If she goes out there and destroys Paige Vanzant in the first or second round by TKO, everyone's going to be very, very interested in her. And people are going to be interested in Amanda Ribas anyway. She's a young girl. She's not too bad herself. But, you know, obviously she's being compared to Paige Vanzant here. But still, not too bad on the eyes herself, Amanda Ribas. And in the female MMA world, that goes a long way. I'm not saying that's because of me. I'm just saying that seems to be the case. If you're fuckable, then you're going to end up rising up the rankings magically. I don't know why that happens, but it just seems to happen because, you know, these MMA media members that make the rankings, let's just say they're probably not the ladies' men, you know, like, I don't mean to say anything, but still, I think that Paige Vanzant is going to lose. I think she's going to lose quite embarrassingly, but still, she has a really good chance here. I'm looking forward to this one. I think if Amanda Ribas wins, it makes all the sense in the world to do her versus Maycee Barber at flyweight. It really does. I mean, Maycee Barber, where is Maycee Barber ranked in the flyweight division right now? Because it must be quite high up. I'm just going to check it. I think she's number 11. Somehow she's number 11 because the UFC wants to push her. Maycee Barber's number 10. She moved up again. What is going on? She hasn't beat a single ranked opponent. Alright then. She's number 10, I guess. Maycee Barber's number 10 in the women's flyweight division, so whoever wins this one is probably going to take that number 15 spot, and then we're going to work a nice little storyline. Amanda Ribas is moving up for this one as well from strawweight. That's something to note, but then again, so is Paige Vanzant, and the only reason Paige Vanzant moved up for strawweight is because she got fake tits, fake ass, cheek fillers. She's not going to be able to make strawweight anymore. I feel like that's something that's really going to be have to taken into consideration. I don't think that sentence made sense, but I'm going to take this into consideration here. If you're getting fake tits, your fighting career isn't your main focus. So don't complain when your fighting career doesn't pay you all of the wage that you want it to. If you're getting fake tits and fake ass, she's definitely had something done to her ass, because it doesn't just happen overnight like that. She's had cheek fillers as well. If you're getting all of these things done in your face, you're getting facial surgery, cheek fillers, in a sport where people want to punch you in the face. You clearly don't prioritize this as your main career. Amanda Ribas does. She whoops girls. Last time she beat Randa Marcos, who in my opinion would beat Paige Vanzant, and she beat her quite well as well. Randa Marcos is a dangerous girl. In my opinion, had a close fight with Claudia Gadelha that might have gone either way. I thought Gadelha maybe won it, but listen, that's a close fight she had with Claudia Gadelha. She also has wins over Angela Hill, by the way, not too long ago as well, in 2019. So this isn't like an old Angela Hill that wasn't good anymore. I mean, Randa Marcos is a legit opponent, and Amanda Ribas went out there and just completely outclassed her, in my opinion. I mean, it was a good fight, don't get me wrong. Marcos had some moments, but Ribas just went out there and just outclassed her. I think Ribas is going to win this bout. Vanzant has a chance. If you're going to want to make some money, put some money on Vanzant, but that's not my prediction whatsoever. Ribas goes out there, stiffs her with a jab, follows up with a 2 every now and again, and gets a unanimous decision win, 30-27, all 3 rounds to Amanda Ribas. I'm looking forward to it for many different reasons. I'm just going to get some things ready for when the fight starts. There we go, and I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. We need some hype in the women's flyweight division, and we have none of it. You know, so the loser of this fight is probably going to be Paige Vanzant, but also probably if Paige Vanzant loses, I reckon she's not going to stick around in her fighting career much longer. And then even if you look at Paige Vanzant's resume, she lost to Jessica Rose Clark, who's 8-4. Jessica Rose Clark, I believe right now, is on a 3-fight losing streak, last I remember. No, 2-fight losing streak, but she hasn't fought in ages. Loses to Jessica I. Ugh. I know she's a top contender, but still, Jessica I, you're going to lose to her, but still. Pani Kianzad lost to her. I mean, Paige Vanzant's losses and wins don't get better over time. She lost to Michelle Waterson by first round rear naked choke. Michelle Waterson is not good. I know she looks good, but she's not. I know she went 5 rounds with Jędrzejczyk, but Jędrzejczyk isn't much of a finisher, you know? And she lost to Carla Esparza and just didn't even throw punches in that fight. And then she barely beat Karolina Kowalkiewicz. And barely beat Felice Herrig. And barely beat Courtney Casey. Like, I mean, I look at Paige Vanzant's career compared to just the few wins that Amanda Ribas has gotten in her UFC career so far. Randa Marcos, as I mentioned before. Mackenzie Dern as well. Who's better at jiu-jitsu? Paige Vanzant or Mackenzie Dern? That's how Vanzant is going to win this fight, by using her grappling, by trying to get a hold of Ribas, trying to take the back and just looking for a rear naked choke armbar, something that she can get off, because she's not going to want to strike with Amanda Ribas. She's going to be looking to grapple with Ribas, and Ribas just completely destroyed Mackenzie Dern and outclassed her for 3 rounds. A better grappler, a more credentialed grappler than Paige Vanzant. It just doesn't add up to pick Paige Vanzant as a winner here. Amanda Ribas is a beast. She's only lost to Poliana Viana, who was 6-1 at the time, who now is 10-4. Fair enough, not the best record in the world, but still, you're going to have those losses along the way. And to be honest with you, only having 1 loss in the UFC as a female fighter, I mean, just having a positive record in the women's flyweight division right now in the UFC is like you're the GOAT. Like, if you have a positive record in women's MMA in the flyweight division, I mean, you might as well just get the medals handed to you. You get a belt yourself just by having a positive record. So for you to go 9-1 against decent opponents, not to mention have an amateur career as well, which tells me that you actually want this as a career. Because some of these girls, you'll see it in some female MMA fighters, they'll get into the sport, they'll win a couple fights against some cans, and before you know it, they're a professional fighter. When you have amateur records, and you win both of them, you know? I just think it looks good. Like, it just looks good in terms of how much I'm willing to invest in your career. That tells me that you want this so badly that you've invested in an amateur record. Because that's what it is. It's an amateur record. And Paige Vanzant has an amateur fight as well, but that's one of them. You know? I don't know. I just think that Amanda Ribas just pieces her up, man. This is an absolute mismatch. I think the UFC knows what they're doing. This is what the UFC is doing to Paige Vanzant. Oh, you want a pay rise? Here's Amanda Ribas. That's what they're doing. Oh, you want a pay rise? You think you deserve to be paid more? Okay. Beat Amanda Ribas and prove to us that you want to be paid more. Vanzant could win. It's just not very likely whatsoever. Ribas gets the job done, and I feel like Ribas, in all honesty, should stay in the female flyweight division, because that's like moving up to heavyweight as a light heavyweight. You can jump straight to the top of the queue. I mean, Derek Lewis, Ilir Latifi moved up, immediately got a fight with Derek Lewis. Alexander Gustafsson wants to move up, gets a fight with Fabricio Verdum. If he wins that one, he'll be top 10. I mean, there's emptier divisions the further you go up, especially in the female divisions, because strawweight's one of the most stacked there is. Flyweight is an absolute graveyard. Like Valentina Shevchenko, as great as she is, she's the queen of a graveyard. And if she can move up into the flyweight division. I know Amanda Ribas is ranked number 14 at strawweight right now, but if she beats Paige Vanzant at flyweight, she'll be top 15 there. Then she'll get a fight with Macy Barber, which arguably she'll probably win. I'd pick her against Macy Barber. That would be the best route of action next as well. Then she'll get top 10 and slide above the loser of Andrea Lee versus whoever she just signed to fight. And everything would be good. And she'll just jump straight up the rankings. And honestly, if Amanda Ribas moves up, she's 4 fights away from a title shot, because that division is fucking empty. But still, great fight. I'm looking forward to it for all the wrong reasons. But, you know, it's a decent scrap. See what happens. I think Ribas just jabs her face off for 3 rounds and Vanzant can't get past it. But, you know, Vanzant's tough. I don't see her getting finished. I'll give her that. No, Vanzant is a tough girl. You got to give it to her. She's taken a beating in her career before. She didn't even tap to Michelle Waterson, which I give credit for. Shows how tough she is. But still, she's going to get beaten up. 30-27, all 3 rounds. And I guarantee you, this is even an extra prediction I'm going to throw in there last minute. Listen, MMA has been getting soft recently. All of this no crowd and people actually hearing the punches has been making people more queasy and more soft to the sport of MMA, because a lot more talks of stopping the fight early have been coming up. Like Felicia Spencer, they should have thrown it in after the 2nd round. Whoa. She wasn't getting like destroyed. She was just getting beaten. People can come back from losing. I wouldn't be surprised if Vanzant gets beaten up every round, doesn't get like TKO'd and destroyed. No 10-8s go on. But she's going to get beaten up every round. And there's going to be a narrative after this, because Vanzant's a pretty girl and everyone feels bad for her getting beaten up and everyone's getting a little bit softer in the MMA world recently. There's going to be a narrative, oh, they need to start throwing the towel in earlier. People need to start stopping fights. I guarantee you that's going to be a narrative after this. That's my real prediction, because everyone knows the prediction is Ribas to win. The real prediction is people are going to start a debate about whether or not we should start throwing in the towel earlier, even though it isn't going to be that bad. That's my real prediction. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button there. Goodbye.